Good morning. It's Bernard Nomberg. I'm here with my friend Allana Pinkerton. Good morning, Allana.
Good morning.
We're here for another episode of NOMBERG LAW Live. And as you can see, we are clearly not in the courtroom. We're not in the office. We're actually out in a parking lot here in Birmingham. Allana is with a company called Diono. Diono. Thank you. Tell us about that company.
So Diono is a company that we make innovative products for families like you all on the go, whether it's a car seat, a stroller, some travel accessories for your car, and having baby carrying devices as well, so you can have that comfort and carry your baby around.
Certainly, and we're near a busy street, so I'm sorry if there's some background noise, but Allana is going to teach us, among other things, proper child care and car safety. And so that's why we've got this set up here for this morning. And tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit more about your company.
Sure. So I am the global safety advocate for the company. I'm a certified child passenger safety instructor. That's a mouthful. Ironically, we're here at the JCC daycare where I kind of started my journey with having a young child and being concerned about him being on a school bus without his car seat and having things done properly. So I became certified. So for the company, you know, I share as a liaison for other technicians to reach out to us, parents to reach out to us. If customer service can't handle an issue, then they reach out to me. I'm now part of the product design and development team as well. So my role stretches far and wide, training a lot of internal staff, you know, getting the sales team up to speed on things, because things are changing all the time with car seat safety. And so I get to do a little bit of everything and things like this. So I'm the voice for the company as well.
Very good. And we'll put in the comment section afterward all the contact information. Yes. But if folks want to reach out to you afterward or during this, you obviously are welcome to put in the comment section. We'll see that. But how can folks get in touch with you?
If they go to our website, us.diono.com, they can contact our customer service, and then they'll reach out to me directly. Our customer service staff are all mostly certified technicians, and of course they know our products left and right. But I'm also available to answer anybody's brand question. If I don't have the answer, I have every contact with every brand. Obviously, we're all a community of advocates helping everybody, and so I'm just here to help parents navigate this world of car seats, no matter whose brand it is.
Well, we're getting closer to spring break. Just finished for most of the country. Some of the country still has spring break, but summertime is coming soon, and that means car trips.
Lots of car trips, but you know, ironically, it's your everyday travel you really need to worry about more. So I hear it all the time. Oh, we're just going around the corner. I buckle them up on the highway, but really, it's just right here, even on streets like and on Montclair, that you're going to experience a wreck more than on the highways.
Well, let's get into our demonstration. We've got this set up. I'm going to turn the camera around, so forgive me for just a second.
So I have set up here one of our Diono convertible car seats. It's an all-in-one car seat. When you're shopping around for car seats, you have a few options. If you are expecting a newborn, you can either start with what's called the convertible, because we often have inserts that can fit a smaller baby, or you can start off with one of those infant seats that are called a bucket. You can click in and out of the base, and it goes into a stroller easily. So you have those options. I would say if you have a high-risk pregnancy, you're expecting twins, you definitely want to go with that smaller infant seat. The car seat's probably going to fit them a lot better. But just keep in mind, some kids just quickly outgrow those infant car seats. My children were 5 months old. They were just big babies. I don't know about your girls, but they outgrew them within 5 or 6 months. Plus, it gets a little heavy to carry around. But you do have the option of going to the convertible after that or right at the start. This is rear facing, and when we talk about rear facing is going to be one of the safest positions to keep your child in. You have to keep them rear facing from newborn all the way to at least 1 year old and 20 pounds. That's the federal regulations. However, you need to check with your car seat manufacturer, because some of them want you to keep your kids rear facing longer. It's required. We have the option of going forward facing at 1 year and 20 pounds. However, we do recommend extended rear facing, because as you can see, this is a big doll. It replicates about the average 3-year-old, the 50th percentile 3-year-old. So keeping kids rear facing for a long period of time, you can see the shell of the seat is protecting that head, that neck, and that spinal column, because most crashes are at the front of the car, so they're going to ride down the car crash this way, and the whole back of the seat is protecting their body. And what people have to keep in mind is children, their spinal column do not fuse together until they're between the ages of 3 and 6, and you're not going to know that unless you x-ray your child, and the pediatrician's not going to do that unless there's a serious injury that might be involved. And one of the biggest questions I get is, what about their feet hitting the back of the seat like this child's feet are doing? Well, like I said, most crashes are at the front of the vehicle, so the strongest force of impact is going to be on that downward movement, and by the time the seat rocks up, you're not really hitting the seat as hard. And so we don't see statistics of children having broken lower extremities rear facing, but we do see them a lot going forward facing with the head and the feet, because they're kicking and hitting that seat in front of them when they're forward facing. So definitely want to express rear facing for as long as possible. Our product actually we have people keeping their kids rear facing up to 4 and 5 years old in our, I know it sounds crazy.
Wow.
But in Scandinavian countries, they've been doing that for about 25, 30 years. So children don't know any different. I know a lot of us are excited about having the TV to keep them occupied, but really kids are used to riding rear facing, and until they can really start emphasizing their words and explaining to you that they're uncomfortable, they're more than likely not. They have a lot more flexibility than you and I do, even after our yoga classes. So anyway, so rear facing, a couple things you want to keep in mind when you do have a convertible seat. You're going to have 2 belt paths. One's going to say rear facing. You can't see it here because the seat belt's here. One's going to say forward facing. It's imperative that you always, when you're installing the car seat rear facing, to put it through the correct belt path. And as you can see here, I have the seat belt through the rear facing belt path. You want to be able to lock your seatbelt. This one I can't pull back out. It has what's called a locking retractor. Most vehicles these days have a locking retractor, so I simply routed the seatbelt through, I buckled it, and then I pulled this webbing all the way out. Click and ratcheting sounds you'll hear, and you won't be able to pull it back out. And then I get on the buckle side and I pull as tight as possible so that this lap portion is cinching down. And when I grab with one hand, I'm trying to move side to side, front to back, and as you can see, it's not moving at all. And that's the kind of installation you want to have with the rear facing. You don't grab up here at the top because there's nothing securing it right there. You always check a car seat right at the belt path that you're using. So correct belt path and making sure that the seat belt is locked is your key. And then for the purpose of a newborn, you definitely want to make sure you have it at the right angle. This seat does not have an angle indicator, but most car seats will have an angle indicator. And you want to be sure that the car seat is laying at the proper angle. We're kind of on a hill here, so you wouldn't install the car seat base here. You'd do it on a flat surface, so you made sure you had it at the right angle. And then, no matter if you're going rear facing or forward facing, you always want the harness snug enough where you can't pinch the webbing up here at the collarbone. And I'm just lightly, trying to grab it. I can't pinch it. That's a good snug fit. And then the chest clip goes to armpit level. That's real important as well, because what that's doing is it's placing the straps on top of the shoulders and keeping them in place before the car crash. As you can see here, the straps are just right at the shoulder, so you want them at or just below for this rear facing position. If it was forward facing, you'd want the straps at or just slightly above. You don't want straps way up here above a child's head in either direction. So this is the proper way to adjust the harness. Snug over the hips and snug over the shoulders. You don't have to do it super duper tight. First of all, the child's going to be uncomfortable and just really complain a lot, and they just have to be snug and comfortable. The car seat needs to be tight. So car seat tight, harness snug, chest clip at armpit level, and this is the proper way to ride rear facing.
What is and thank you for sharing that, that's so important facing for young children. What is the size or age requirements or recommendations for forward-facing child seats?
Again, depending, you want to rear face your car seat for the maximum height and weight of the seat. For us, that could be 44 inches or up to 40 pounds in this seat. We have other seats that go to 50 pounds rear facing. So maximize that rear facing and then turn them around. If you could go, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends at least 2 years old before they go forward facing. If you can go to 3, that's even better. 4, you're really knocking it out of the park. So just adding that investment in rear facing as for as long as possible.
Where can folks go on the internet to see these recommendations, the chart or the photographs, whatever it may be?
You can go to our website, has a plethora of information, which is us.diono.com. You also have safekidsworldwide.org. They're an injury prevention worldwide safety organization that actually handles the certification that I'm under. And then safercar.gov is our government agency that has a lot of information as well. So a lot of safety advocates out there working together hand in hand, all pretty much saying the same thing.
And Allana, what are your thoughts about those kids who want to now sit in the front seat earlier and earlier?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that can be problematic because the airbags come out really strong. I mean, they pack a punch, and they can actually injure or kill a younger child. And if you think about, again, the growth of a child and how things fuse together. We don't think about that because a lot of us don't go to school to learn all about bones.
Right.
But the sternum doesn't really fuse together till the child's hitting puberty. And so keeping them up front, taking the impact of the seatbelt, then the impact of the crash and the airbag can actually, break that sternum. And so, the longer you can keep them in the back seat, the safer they are. You and I would be safer in the back seat at some point. So keeping them in the back seat up until age 13, there's a reason why the automobile manufacturers express that. And then I know people have different family dynamics, so you always want to check with a technician like myself. We can kind of help guide you and figure out, because it might be that maybe the child, in a harness might be better off, just depending on your vehicle and your family dynamics and your circumstances. I mean, we can't put them in the perfect bubble, but we can do the best job possible.
For people who are maybe a little uncomfortable or not sure about their own installation of car seats, where can they go to have it checked or actually done for them?
Yeah, actually, safercar.gov has a list of certified stations. You want to make sure that they are a certified station, that you usually should have their certification card, so they're up to date. Not every fire department, not every police station has a certified technician on staff, so you really want to make sure that you're talking to the right person. I would say first, read your manual. That's the most important thing. You want to know how to work your car seat. And just like you learn everything else about navigating parenthood, this is probably the most important. It's the most deadly thing we do every day is drive around. So read your manual and then go to the manufacturer's websites and watch the videos. We usually, all manufacturers have step-by-step videos on how to install the car seat. Again, you want to test at the belt path, so that makes it easy. And then just to have that reassurance, find that local technician. There are about 40,000 of us around the country, and while that sounds like a lot, it's really not, because if you think about rural areas, I used to travel all around Alabama to the rural areas that didn't have technicians because we're only in major cities.
If you look on the side of the car seat, those warnings and other information there for a reason, and that's to educate the consumers. It's to educate the people who are using the seats. So please take time, and if you don't have the booklet, hopefully there's at least these warnings and other things that are on the sides to educate you.
Federal law requires us to put these warning labels on the seat. They also we have to have them in the manual as well, and they are there for a reason. So I always tell parents, just grab yourself a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and just take your time and sit down, read the manual. It's not there to scare you, but it's there to educate you so you make an informed decision and that you can feel comfortable. Unfortunately, a lot of us get in these vehicles, close the four doors, and we feel really safe because we're in all this metal, especially here in this big truck, right? But and we were just riding on spring break on snowy mountain roads without guardrails. And it's the other people that I worry about. I know my driving, I'm very aware, I slow down, I'm cautious. You saw how it took me a while to pull out of your parking lot. I mean, I could have gone, but why take the chance? We're not as safe as we think we are. And if anything, distracted driving is getting worse, not better. We talk about autonomous cars. That's way out in the future. So just take the driving very, very seriously. It's a privilege, and not just a right, but a privilege for us.
Well, Allana, this is all fantastic information. You're such an expert in this field, and this is so valuable. How can folks get in touch with you?
They can go to our website, us.diono.com. Of course, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to us there. So usually, if you have some detailed questions, it's better just to pick up the phone and call us, because as you can see here, we could talk about this for quite a while. We didn't even cover forward facing. We didn't cover booster mode and when it transition. So there's all kinds of questions that come up. You know, if you have friends that are giving you a hard time about your car seat and the way it's installed, it's only because they care. There's just a plethora of information we can discuss better on the phone.
Thank you, Allana. I'm going to switch the camera back around because this will bring us to the, hold on just a second. All right, there we are again. Well, guys, thank you for spending some time with us this morning. Like I said earlier, if you have questions, please put them in the comments. We'll make sure that Allana gets them. And this will bring us to the end of our interview for the day for NOMBERG Law Live. We'll be back again next week. I'm going to be interviewing Joel Feldman, who is the co-founder of End Distracted Driving, which is a very important topic that needs to be heard by anyone and everyone who drives.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And again, thank you, Allana.
Buckle up, drive safely.